For our numeric and algebraic expressions worksheet, we're going to be taking these words and writing out the problem. Now, one thing we want to remember, if it tells us the word sum or difference, then we want to make sure we put parentheses around those because, whoops, that says do the answer of that. Find that addition problem, then do something else. Find the subtraction problem, then do something else to it. So if we need to add or subtract first, we need to put those parentheses around them. If it says do this, then add, we don't need parentheses. But if we need to find the sum or the difference, we need to put parentheses around those. So this says the sum of 7 and 6. So we need to do that first. Find a marker here. There we go. So we need to do sum of 7 and 6. We're taking this and adding it to that. Then we'll divide that by 2. So when I write that out, so I need to add 7 and 6 first, find the sum of that first. Then I'm going to divide by 2. Where this one, it says the same numbers and the same words, like same operations, but it just says 7 plus 6 divided by 2. So if I just write it out, it doesn't tell us to do the sum. It doesn't say find this first. And it doesn't say do this, then divide by 2. So I'd really have to divide, then add. Where this one doesn't give us any specifics, we just write it and we would follow our order of operations. Where this one here says do the sum, then do this. So you just got to pay attention to those small little differences and how is it worded. So this one says 26 times 2. So I'm going to plug that in there, 26 times 2. And then I'm going to subtract that from 60. I'm taking it away from 60. It doesn't say minus 60. It says do 26 and we minus 2, times 2. And then take this whole thing away from 60. That's got to go in the front. It doesn't say minus 60. It says take this. So we would do this first, which order of operations would make us do this first anyways. But I can put parentheses just to help visualize what I'm doing. So I do this, then I take that away from 60. Where this one says 26 subtracted from 60, then I times by 2. So this one says do this first. So I need to put parentheses, right? Then do this. Once this first, then this. So, and this says from 60. So it is not 26 subtract 60. It's 26 taken away from 60. So we need to do 60 minus 26 in parentheses, then times it by 2. So I'm going to let you try and write that one there. Okay, this one says 5 times 7. So 5 times 7 and then minus 40. So I'm going to just write as it is written out. This one says the product, so that's a times of 5 and 7. And then I'm going to subtract this from 40. So remember that from 40, it's got to go all the way to the front. So 40 minus 5 times 7. I'm going to let you write that out. So, right, we're taking that 40, that from, goes all the way to the front. Okay, sum is our adding. So we're going to add B and 16 and then times that by 5. So it wants us to do this first, then times 5. So write that out there. Okay, we have B plus 16 times 5. So this time we would have to do this first because it's not sum, it just says add it. So I'd have to follow order of operations, do this, then add on B. Okay, our next one tells us that we want the difference of 37 and J. So remember, difference is one of those words we have to do first. So we need to do 37, we're finding the difference, which means subtract, minus J, and then we'll divide by 4. Where this one tells us to do J divided by 4 and then just minus 37. So this one we have to subtract first, then divide. This one we're going to divide, then subtract. So this one says minus, so we just take it away. This one says difference, we have to do that first in the parentheses. Okay, our next one says the total animals, so total usually implies that we're putting them together. Louis has 5 pigs, 8 horses. So all of his animals, he has 5 of the pigs. We don't know how many horses, it's just H, so and plus the H. So we take the 5, once I know how many horses, we'd add those together to find the total. Hey, our next one tells us that my friend bought 2 Snickers, 2 Twix. I bought 4 times that. So I need to take my Snickers and my Twix, and I want to put those together, and I want to do that first. I want to say, here's what my friend had. And then I did 4 times that whole entire group. If we don't put those parentheses, then we would have to do 2 times 4 plus 2, and that's going to give us a different answer than 16. So if they bought 4, you got 4 times that, you'd get 16. You have to put your friend together first, then multiply. Hey, Skylar found 6 apples and then M more. We don't know how many more, just some more. So he found 6, and then Kim has double that. So first we're going to do Skylar. So Skylar had 6 and M, and he has to do that first. And then Kim has double, that means times by 2 there. Hey, Raj is 2 inches taller than Howard. So Raj, right, is taller. Howard is shorter. H is Howard. So however tall Howard is, so right, if this is Howard here, Howard, Raj is 1, 2 taller. So we're trying to show Raj. So if I take Howard, however tall Howard is, Raj needs to be 2 more. Not 2 times taller, just 2 inches taller. Hey, and our last one here says Marcus has 4 times the sum of 6 and the number of marbles David has. So sum 6 and this number we need to add together, David, and D is going to represent the number of marbles David has. So D, whatever this is, D, and then we want to see how much Marcus has. So 6 and David, so he has whatever David has, he has 6 more, and I have to do that first because it says find the sum of that, and then he has 4 times that. So I could put my 4 in the front and say 4 of this whole group. I could also write it out, 6 plus D, and then times it by 4. So these mean the same thing. We usually write it like this to say I have 4 of this. Usually to put the 2 in front, but they mean the same thing. So we're just following the problem, thinking about what needs to happen first to put parentheses around, then do the next thing after that.